see me for working so hard. And you can see the chocobo hats behind there. So thank you so much, guys. Remember, if you want to see that happen once again, you need to support them as much as you can, because that was such a beautiful format for such a wonderful cause, and I was in love with that event, so we need to make it happen again, definitely. I'm just saying that because I want more noodles for me. So. I do love noodles. Let's start with some music. We can start with some background music, let's see. Okay, let's go. Not too much. I hope you don't mind crisis score. There you go. Happy soundtrack. So, okay, let's start this beautiful panel by telling you how it's gonna work. Do we have 1 hour, right? More or less. Is there anybody after us in this room?
I don't think so.
Is somebody booked in this room after that? Because otherwise, since we are late, I can have like extra 20 minutes, please, because I love them.
Hold that thought.
Who needs lunch when I have this love?
Yes.
When I have the ultimate flavor experience.
You're the last one, so yeah. You're the last one, so it's good.
Oh, the last of us. Oh, wonderful. So we can stay here 3 hours. Good.
Down.
So I'm here today. What is this blue screen? Okay, never mind. Distracted. When you can't live and you have too many events around you, like fields, you, blue screen. Okay. So, how many of you know me? I mean, yeah. Oh, I'm famous. How many of you don't know me? Like, okay, nice, cool. Question, what are you doing here? I'm just kidding, I love you too. So, for all the few people that don't know me, allow me to make a short intro about myself. My name is Chiro, or Chiro, or Cheerios, or Churros, or whatever. As I said, it doesn't matter how you pronounce my family name, which is my name, but the most important thing is that you pronounce it with a smile. No, seriously, one of the reasons why I live is that I want my name to be a source of positivity, and every time people mention your image, your name, I want them to have a good memory of me, so I'll be your living legacy. So, getting back to us, I'm a professional cosplayer from Italy, and I do this for a living. I'm a video game model, and I've been working as official cosplayer for many video game companies, AAA companies like Capcom, Square Enix, Electronic Arts, Riot Games, of course, as model for Rakan of League of Legends. I'm a physiotherapist, but I'm never saying that, so yeah. And now I'm going to take my second degree, which is going to be a degree in video game digital communication and marketing in video games. So yeah, I own my own company. I have a company of 5 people now working for me, and we do cosplays. We do costumes and props. So yeah, it's a tough life. It's a tough life. I'm always around the world. I did this cosplay career as a living. So every single weekend I'm a different country or a different city, which is pretty cool. But trust me, I just had they told me that my level of radiation is getting higher. So I'm gonna die soon. Hashtag worth it. Yeah. Who needs life when I can go in afterlife? No. I will never die. I'm immortal. Getting back to us, I do this for a living and I travel so much. I've been traveling. Only in April I had 110 hours on the plane, which is 4 days and a half, 4 full days and a half on the plane. And yeah, I love my life. I just make a dream become true, and I just want to tell to everybody that everybody can do it. The reason why I'm here is not to show my level of who I am. I'm just gonna make a short intro, but I want to show you how good you can be if you truly believe in yourself. So today's panel is gonna be about motivation, it's gonna be about me, it's gonna be about you. Anything goes. You can ask me anything you want, any curiosity, every single doubt you have, just let me know. And I'm gonna talk also, if you want, about some future projects, about some dream cosplay projects I'm gonna show you in the future. And I hope you're gonna have a good experience. My mission today is to give you something and make your life improve of 0.001%. If I do that, and if I give you a smile, which I already did, I'm happy. Okay, let's start with the questions, guys. Any questions? Any questions? Anything? Just go for it, don't be shy. Yes?
How did you first find out about cosplay? How did you first find out about cosplay? Like, was that at a convention or like online?
How did I start to cosplay?
Yeah.
So, it's funny because I didn't know what I was doing. I was a model. I was working for modeling agencies, and I was a shirt and a fashion model for different companies like Calvin Klein and so on. And I was mainly an underwear model and shirt model, so I was like just posing. Hashtag. Never mind. Yeah. Hashtag subscribe to my Patreon. Hashtag nudes but not nudes. So yeah, nudes. And one day I was in love of taking pictures and recreating something, but I was missing some emotions in my pictures. I said, you know what, I want to bring some emotions in life and I want to make a video game for the shooting. So I wanted to be Tidus from Final Fantasy X, which is also pronounced in Canada and US like Tidus, but it's Tidus. And it's not because I'm saying it in Italian, but it's a Tidus, a farandia. So I just went into that. I would try to remake some parts of the costume, cutting some bands and doing that, dyeing my hair, you know. And that was not very bad. But it was not good. At least for my standards. And a friend of mine brought me in a con. I didn't know the convention where I said, I feel like I'm dressing up like a character, like what should I do? And he said, okay, I'm gonna bring you in a place. This is a comic convention. I'm gonna leave you there. You brought me like a dog, okay? Like, okay, go socialize, make some friends, okay? But guys, for real, I made more friends in 3 days of convention than 6 months of my life. And getting a bit cheesy, I realized that thanks to the cosplay community can be 100% yourself. Because I've been hiding my personality and my video game addiction since that moment, until that moment, because I was bullied because of video games. Oh, he's still playing Pokemon at 16, oh my god, sucker. That's so bad. You know, that's not good, you know, you don't have to play video games. That's not good, it's not healthy. And now I'm owning like more salary than them all together. Like, now that people judging me, they don't even have a job, they just wander around life doing nothing and, you know, living with their own parents. Not judging their lives, you know, but I live alone. I'm happy, I have you guys, I have a family. And the reason why I do this is because I want you to know that you can be whoever you want thanks to cosplay, and you don't have to be ashamed of who you are, because if you're starting to be somebody else, you're gonna attract only people that like somebody else than what you really are, okay? Does it make any sense? Yes. So guys, you have to keep going, work hard, and do whatever you want. If somebody tells you what you have to do, the only thing you have to say is so, yeah, that's it. And cosplay gave me a lot. I don't want to hide negativity, of course, because we all have to know that negativity is out there, but we have to face it with positivity. Negativity cannot exist without positivity, and vice versa. The only way of living a good life and a happy life is your point of view, is your perspective. So if you just change your perspective, you're gonna change your way of living, and that's gonna be amazing, trust me. I mean, I had problems like everybody, like each one of you. How many of you had dramas on the internet? Oh, that's a wave of drama. Under the drama. So what I'm trying to say is that even me, which I'm extremely motivated, every day, positive, I wanted to stop cosplay like 2 times. I had like 2 things, big things happening that said to me, why am I doing this? I want to stop. But the reason I didn't stop is because of you guys. It's because I know that some people out there, it doesn't matter how many followers you have, if if you have one person believing in you, that's gonna be way worth of fighting. That's gonna be way worth of following your passion. Anytime. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. They are not followers. They are people appreciating your art. It's like a family. Okay? So it's very, very important. Be yourself and never stop. Next question. Oh my God, so many questions. Yes, I have. Okay. Yeah, sorry, it's my fandom, JoJo. Little PS, I'm gonna do, this year is gonna be the JoJo year. Okay. Not enough chicken tenders. That's a no. You first.
What's your most fun cosplay to wear? The hardest one to wear?
The funnest one, do you mean like the most insane, crazy project? Guys, I would love to show you a picture somehow, but I don't know how. How many of you have been playing the video game called Tomba?
I saw those pictures.
Guys, so, I'm not sure if I can find that picture, but it's basically, how can I say, it's a guy with one eyebrow. So one eyebrow. He's kind of looking wild, okay? And it's a classic PS1 video game with pink spiky hair and with only green pants. Like wearing nothing, like leaf pants. And the only thing, there you go, oh my God. Is that a picture of me?
No.
You should write Tomba, you should write Tomba Leon.
It's always DeviantArt.
Yeah. The website that doesn't update their, there you go. There you go. That was the most ridiculous cosplay I've ever done in all my life. I don't even know why, I don't even know how, but I did it. And that was my last appearance in an Italian convention like 3 years ago. Like, hashtag, happy goodbye. But yeah, funny characters, I always have a lot of fun with Gaston. I can be very mean with Gaston. And the hardest one to cosplay was Terra from Kingdom Hearts, the full armor. And also McCree is very hard to cosplay because I have the chest plate. And the hardest part of being McCree is that I cannot hug everybody. I feel like we need to send our hugs via Wi-Fi, you know. Like. Other questions? Yes.
What advice would you have for someone wanting to go into the cosplay industry and stuff?
How can I say to somebody to come to
Yeah, like what advice would you give for someone wanting to do this, like professionally?
Okay, so are you asking me what can I say to somebody who wants to start to do this as profession?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, don't start for money. That's the first thing I can say. If you start because you want to earn money, you're doing that for money. You're not doing that anymore for, how can I say, for fun, for passion, okay? Because for me, before money, happiness comes first. And people's happiness comes first. Unfortunately, this is not for everybody. I can say from my own experience, I've been working with lots of actors and other cosplayers and cosplay models. And most of the time, they even charge for selfies or something. I don't get that. I'm sorry. I really don't get that. I mean, I don't judge that, okay? I don't judge that, but I accept it, but don't respect it. So in my opinion, it's very, very important to stay who you are. So it doesn't matter how much money you earn or how many followers you have. Getting back to the thing I told you at the first beginning here when I came, you always have to do what you do for yourself. It doesn't matter if you are having one follower or 1 million followers. You have to go beyond every day. Keep doing something for the community. Be happy, be nice, be positive, and make them understand how good they can be, because they are who they are, okay? And if somebody starts to judge you, it means that you're starting to do something cool, something good. Trust me. I can tell you that. Like from my own experience, when I first started, I started like with kind of a boom, you know, because I got there in my first con and people were like, oh, who's this guy? I never saw him. He won the competition. Who's this guy? Yeah, is he friends with somebody? I was like, I don't know. And they were like, he's doing cosplay just because he wants to show off his body. because I did Dante. Then I did my first armor. Oh, he's doing cosplay because he's not in good shape anymore. So I'm like, okay, whatever. They will say anything, okay? Some people wanting to do what you do, they judge you, okay? And you don't have to care about that. You have to be positive and focus on your friends, on your beautiful followers, and on the people around you. That's the main advice. Then everything will come automatically. But if you do that for money, if you do that because you feel it's the right moment to do something, you can do it for 1 month, for 2 months, but then you're not gonna be happy. You're not gonna do that in a genuine way. And people stop following you after that. I mean, I saw that from my own experience, not on me, but on other people. So that's why I'm here, guys, because I love you and because I love what I do. Next question, yes. Are you having fun? Are you okay with that? Yeah. Okay, cool. As I said, everything goes. You can ask me anything. There you go. Almost everything.
What's your favorite Final Fantasy game?
Final Fantasy X. Yes. The reason why I love Final Fantasy X is I have a top 5 of the best moments in Final Fantasy X. I don't know if you played it, but well, making spoilers of Final Fantasy X is like saying that Darth Vader is Luke's father. So. You know that. See that? That's an E. An X, I, and T. It's been get out. Yes, I am your mother. No, I'm your daddy. Okay, so yeah, for me the most touching moment in Final Fantasy X was the father and son part. Not even that much the love story. For me the love story is in 3rd position, or probably in 4th position on 5. My 5th position is the story about, how can I say, about the brotherhood between Wakam and his missing brother, okay? Chapu. And he recognizes and he sees his brother in Tidus, so that's why he has this over-attachment on him as friend, because he needs a bro, he needs a brother. And Tidus reminds him so much Chapu, and that's why he gives him the brotherhood, the sword. And I really love that part, especially when they go in the other world and they see Chapu again. That's very intense, because he really looks like Tidus, even physically. In 4th position, I put the love story between Yuna and Tidus, especially the ending. That's one of the heartwarming moments of Final Fantasy, especially the music composition. It's very, very important from an artistic point of view to have the right music and the right voice acting in the right moment. Voice acting and music is an art. They represent an art that you have to support every time. So if you have a voice actor, go and support them in conventions. If you have musicians or orchestra, go and support them. I really invite you to go and give them money instead of giving money to somebody who's doing cosplay or who's just modeling stuff for passion or for, you know, for hobby. Not for hobby, sorry, for money. I mean, I want you to support art. Art means emotions, okay? Everybody's able to wear something, but this is interpretation, this art is very, very important. So when you have a voice actor, go and spread the love, because they did a hell of a job, and without their voice, the character wouldn't be the character they are. One of my biggest inspirations is Troy Baker, for example. I never met him. I was supposed to meet him last year, but we never met. And I think that without him, Snow wouldn't be Snow. And in my opinion, in the case of Snow, which is Final Fantasy 13, he gave even too much. Because, how can I say, he gave so much personality to Snow, and the story was not able to hold how epic he is. So in my opinion, he's probably the most wasted character in the Final Fantasy history, with the biggest potential of them all. Snow could have been the ultimate hero, but they just left them behind, you know, no importance. And I feel that that was a bit of waste. But getting back to us in position number 2, sorry, it was number 3, right?
Yeah.
Number 3, okay. Well, I would say Auron's story. All the story behind Auron. And I would really love to see a spin-off of Final Fantasy X about Vraska, Jact, and Auron. Can you imagine like a crisis core with them? That would be amazing, guys. Instead of focusing on the remake of 7, I would like to see that more. I would like to see a remake of Final Fantasy Crisis Core. Because there's no official release in HD. There's just a pirate copy on the internet, which I played. Sorry, Square Enix snipers. You're gonna kill me later because I'm gonna tell some future plugs of hats. Okay. Getting back to us in position, in second position. One of the most heartwarming moments of Final Fantasy X, and I hope I don't annoy you with Final Fantasy X because I really would like to speak more. I would do a panel only about Final Fantasy X, like religion, philosophy, and whatever, and of Final Fantasy X, because that's so much behind. There's so much behind. There's a strong message in Final Fantasy X. In second position is all the Kimahri story. So basically, Kimahri is the representation. I know, maybe it sounds like I'm seeing too many things in something that is easy, you know? But that's how I interpret things, because I love them. So Kimahri is the physical representation and the moral representation of who's born without power, without quirk. So let's say, for example, we belong to, you know, to the human race, which we all are belonging, and we are born with some, I don't want to say handicap, but with some difference, okay? So we are weaker, but not because of who we want to be, but because physically you cannot do anything, okay? So we born like very short or without an arm or whatever, you know? You just born different, okay? Which is not making you different, but special. Kimahri is one of the shortest Ronsos. Ronso is the race. And he has nothing to do with that, but he gets bullied because he's a short Ronso. And they said that he's not, how can I say, worth of having a horn, which is the Kimahri symbol, because he's too short, because he's small. Even if he's 3 meters tall, you know, but they are giants. And there are these two guys, I really remember every name, Biran and Yenke, which are the two main guys, strong Ronsos, and they keep bullying him every day, like, Kimahri no guard, Kimahri no good, you know? And they keep ruining his life, but even that, and they made the most humiliating thing for a Ronso, they broke his horn. It's like, breaking your horn is like breaking a leg. You can't run anymore, because people look at you and they recognize you without a horn, so you lose your pride, and the pride for Ronsos is everything. I know, I'm making so many background stories about Final Fantasy, maybe you didn't think about it, but try to think about that. They broke his pride, his honor, which is everything for Ronsos. And every time a Ronso look at him, they said, oh, that's not the Ronso, it's just Kimahri, because they know him. And it doesn't matter what, he keeps protecting Yuna like a real Ronso, like a real guardian. And the most touching moment when they get to the Gagazet Mountains, and Biran and Yenke, as guardians of the mountains of Gagazet, they let all the guardian pass. And they say, Summoner pass, Guardian pass, Kimahri no pass. And in that moment, Kimahri faces his fears, chest up, head up, and he goes beyond, and he goes there to face them. And all the guardians, all the team wants to fight with him, because you're not alone, because we love you, we are guardians. He said, no, this is a Kimahri thing. And he faces him alone. Like, the reason why he got bullied, the reason why he got his horn broken, and he's facing both of them together in a fight, in a mortal fight, and in the end Kimahri won, because of his perseverance, because he wanted to be there, because he wanted to prove that he's the Ronso. And in the end, they also sing the Yevon hymn to the mountains, and they say, Gagazet Mountains, remember this day, because Kimahri is a real Ronso and he beat us. And that was so heartwarming, and they sing the hymn of Yevon to him. And that was also the last words they do, because after that Timur was going to go there and Timur was going to kill all of them. So, you know.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, me too. I mean, and if you fight with Kimahri in your team and you have Seymour against you, you can have an extra dialogue, which is boosting your attack. Yeah. And he says, I'm going to take all the souls and all the spirits of the Ronsos you kill, and they were going to go in my spear, and I'm going to kill you with the spear. And he's like raging out, and that's a very, very strong moment in Final Fantasy X. Like, it's more than you think. I mean, for me, it was way more. Because it's the representation of bullism. He faced his fears and he went beyond, which is extremely motivating. So that's why I love Kimahri so much. That was so long, I'm sorry. And in the end, I'm sorry. And in the end, it's of course the ending with Jet. It somehow it touched me a lot because I never had a father, so you know, it's like getting in parallel at some parts. And well, I don't have to say anything more. Like you know, Jet and Titus is one of the most intense parts. The hate and love in the same time. The protection for your own son, even if in that specific case he did it to protect him, to become sin itself, to protect Titus. So it's like way bigger. Even he was growing up with the hate that he was not there. He was actually protecting him by not making become sin somebody else who would have killed him. So it's pretty intense too. So yeah, that's why I love Final Fantasy X so much. Like there are so many reasons. So yeah, thank you. Next cosplay Himari. No, I'm kind of sweating that. Yes.
Since you said you're the JoJo, who's your favorite JoJo and why? Sorry.
My favorite JoJo is Joseph Joestar. The reason why I love JoJo so much is because he brought me so much positivity during every episode. And every single moment you thought, I mean, Jotaro, you see Jotaro, he's a badass, okay? Even if he plays...
He loves his daughter. He loves his daughter.
He actually bluffed in a poker match and he bet his mother. Like, and he was bluffing. So Jotaro is the typical, you know, badass Japanese, you know? You know what I mean? It's like a figure, you know? And you know that somehow he will defeat Dio. I don't know how to say, but I never feel that Jotaro was in difficulty. I would never feel that he was going to be defeated somehow. Not like, for example, Jonathan. I felt that Jonathan was going to be defeated by Dio or something was going to happen. But with Jotaro, he was always such a badass and always strong, but Joseph was under his enemies every time. And he defeated them because of being, you know, because of the strategy, because of being funny, because of distracting the enemy and the meanwhile making a trap. That's why I love Joseph so much, because he beat his enemies, not with the pure strength, with the stand, but because he's smart, which is very important, you know, it's like symbolic. And of course, he has a very, very important role as well in Stardust Crusaders, especially with I don't remember the name of that stand, with a magnet, with Abdul. Do you remember that episode? Yeah, when they get stick the bodies.
Oh.
Yeah, that one. Like, oh no! Oh my god! Yeah, but I love Jotaro, but I love Joseph most. So Joseph is gonna be my next cosplay I'm gonna bring to Yanikon.
The next line is, who has a question?
There you go. Yes. By the way, I told you all that story about Final Fantasy X, but if I start talking about My Hero Academia, I need another time.
Do it.
I will later, but I have to do it. Okay, I have to do it in a way that I don't spoiler. I don't make spoilers. Okay. By the way, I'm Team Buckler. Yes. Yes. No. Yes.
I want to ask, how hard is it for you to stay in shape, and how often do you go back to working out again?
Okay. Being in good shape for me is not only a thing I do for me. I feel that if I'm not staying in good shape, people looking at me, I feel like a pressure in the same time, but in the same time is a motivation. So as I told you, it's a perspective. Many artists, famous artists, fall in depression. Do you know why? Do you know that lots of rock stars or like lots of actors fall in depression? Do you know why? Because fame is not easy to manage. Because when you focus too much everything on yourself, you feel that the society, your fandom is squeezing you, okay? So you get like smaller and smaller and smaller. In the same time, you get bigger and bigger and bigger. Does it make any sense?
Yeah.
So the thing is, you have to keep doing it for yourself, but in the same time reflecting on everybody. So I keep working hard, I'm very tired, but I think if I'm tired now and if I'm sweating right now and making an effort for my body, people looking at me, looking up to me and taking me as motivation will do that too. And when I see people doing something because of me, I don't feel effort anymore. So that's why I'm here. This is my 3rd week of tour. I've been in the Canadian tour. I've been to, we met in Ottawa, right?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Comic-Con.
Yeah, I was in Ottawa. I went to Calgary for AutoFest, and now I'm here. And it's a pretty huge event, guys. It's one of the biggest events I've ever been to. I didn't even see it all. It's bigger than my future. Like, it's very, very good. And something that really impressed me a lot is the amount of cosplayers I saw. The more I see cosplayers, the more I understand that the convention is doing well. The more I see people going there for models or going there for random reasons, the more I understand that the convention is bringing people that, in my opinion, are not ignorant with the cosplay community. I mean, I don't want to say anything against YouTubers, you know, but I think that some YouTubers sometimes are a double shape of sword, you know. Sometimes they make you sell more tickets, but at the same time they feed the convention with people that is not ignorant with the cosplay community, and sometimes they can disrespect that. But it's not my case. I want to do my best, and that's why I keep going every day. So, yeah. And I will start to be on YouTube soon, but for makeup tutorials and for my format is the character in real life. So I want to recreate some videos of characters. What would they do if they would be real, or if they would be modern, okay? I want to start doing some episodes in conventions, like my friend DBD, like Gaston flirting with everybody, like things to not do if you want to, you know, things you have to do to be single, basically, or hashtag reasons why I'm single. So yeah, I want to do something like this, and I have many cool ideas, like cooking Gladdy. So I want to make like cuisine recipes, being in the kitchen without Ignis. And in the end of every video, I'm just throwing away everything and eat cup noodles. So yeah, that's a format. So if I see that videos online, that's gonna be my idea, okay? I trust you. Okay, like taking note. So yes, people's happiness is my happiness. I'm not saying that to be cheesy, but it's because I truly think that. And I think that's the key of having success, and that's the key of keep going every single week. Like for example, now I have to go back in my country for 5 days to celebrate my birthday in my bed. I'm gonna do a video, like a very, very sad video in my bed with a cupcake. No, with a cup noodle. With this cup noodle. I'm gonna put a cupcake in the cup noodle. So it's gonna be a cupception. Yeah, and I'm gonna say happy birthday to me. Alone in my bed, the best gift ever.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Leon. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. The beautiful thing of doing all these wonderful conventions every week is that I celebrate my birthday every day. Like last year, happy early birthday 1 month before. 2 months later, oh, I didn't have the chance to give you a birthday gift. And then I was like posting a video, oh, thank you so much for the birthday gift, even if it's belated. And then people, oh, it was your birthday, I'm gonna bring you a birthday gift too. Thank you. Oh my God. Yesterday we went to eat in, what was the name? I was pretty confused. I'm a simple Italian. I was just wondering, what are your clothes? Where did you put your clothes? You know, why are you naked? And yeah, we have a happy birthday song. That was amazing. They brought me a chair. I was like, what are you doing with this chair? Never mind. No, nothing happened, don't worry. Nothing happened. Are you having fun, guys?
Yeah.
I love you. Next question is, yes, my princess. I know. You tell me every time when I see and hug you, you're like, I'm the Cindy of last year, I'm the Cindy of yesterday. That's your... Yes, tell me.
This is off topic. What's the difference between cons in Italy and the cons in US and Canada?
The main difference is that they are never in the same hotel. I mean, it's always in convention centers. Okay, so they rent convention centers and they never kind of have nearby hotels. So you have to drive by every day, and it's closing at 7 or 8 maximum. So after 7 or 8, you don't have parties going on in the con. You don't have anything. You just, everybody goes home. You hope for a tag with some cool photographers for a picture of yours, and that's all. We don't have the American style of conventions or the Canadian style like in the hotel. Like here, there are so many things going wrong. You just go in the lobby, walk, and you find something to do. So that's why I was very shocked when I started to go to some American conventions, because it's building more friendships and it's building like, and I'm a very party person. So I feel that it's my own environment, you know, like going there, having fun with random people and just enjoying the moment. So that's why I love more the conventions here. But yeah, Italy has very big potential, but we normally don't invite too many guests in our country, which sucks. Yeah. Which is why I'm here. they don't invite me too. No, they invite me, but they're just Italians, you know, like damn Italians. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. I think every country has their own dramas, but we always have to focus on the beautiful and positive things, like the fact that we have this huge reality called Anime North, and you have this wonderful event. You have so many beautiful events in Canada. And yeah, that's it. I saw some people protesting up here today. I was so confused. But the most epic thing of that, I even did a video. There was this guy protesting with, I don't know, Jesus, God, I don't know. I just read some things, and there was a Vegeta in front line. He was my daily hero. You shall not pass. And he was having the pink outfit, you know, with a Batman. That was precious. For sure, one of the things that I'm gonna remember was this convention. Vegeta fighting against Protestants. Whatever. Next time I'm gonna bring my All Might. I'm gonna be there in front line. Watashi ga kita. Everything is fine, do you know why? Because I'm here. So yeah, we're gonna fight against all for one of Protestants. And never mind. Next questions. Yes.
What drives you to cosplay a character more visually, like their design, or the character itself, like personality?
Thank you. Sometimes, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, how many of you watch anime?
Never.
Nice. So, have you ever got to the moment when you look in an anime and you recognize yourself in a character, and somehow you think that is like your transmutation, your representation in an anime? It's like what you would have done, okay? Like you see Noctis, for example, in a video game, and he's like removing veggies from his burgers. How many of you do that?
I do that.
It's a small detail, but you recognize yourself in that small detail. So what I'm trying to say is that for me, outside of the job, but even for a job, I mean, I've been contacted from Blizzard to work for Warcraft. I didn't accept that because I was like, okay, it's a job, it's something cool, but I don't know, I'm not playing Warcraft. So I know maybe you would think, oh, you're crazy, your career could have been better, but I do whatever I love to do. Because I think that when you are the character and you interpret the character, attention, interpret, not wear the character, which is the difference, people see that. So when you are All Might, you cannot not be proud, you cannot not be, I mean, it's All Might. You need to recognize yourself in the character, you know? And for All Might, for example, I feel that he chose me. I feel that somehow it's the opposite, somehow, you know? So cosplay is a magic art which cuts the bridge between virtuality and reality, because you bring the character in life and you make people dream in real life. So that's amazing. That's why I love cosplaying so much, and that's why I choose characters that I feel. Yeah, but I'm gonna cosplay Dio, so that's a challenge. By the way, I didn't announce it yet, but it's gonna be for Christmas. Yes. You thought it's Santa Claus, but it's. I need to make a video, you know, like Santa Claus. It's actually something good, like a song. It's good. What am I doing? Yes.
Said your team Matthew though. Did you ever cosplay him?
Maybe Yeti. But for Yeti, I'm trying to bring a new All Might with a swimsuit wear. I tried it, but it's keep breaking on the legs. Because every time we make the tights too tight, and it's like, yeah, it's not easy to make a lycra cosplay because it has to be elastic. So if you make it too large, it's not staying on your body. But at the same time, you need to put elastics. It's just complicated. That's another matter. So yes, I'm gonna cosplay Bakugo, and the version I'm bringing on Bakugo is gonna be the fantasy version. The problem of being Bakugo is that I'm too buffed. So, what can you do when you're, for example, this is a technical thing. When your body is too big for a character, you have to work on the vision. Vision means, okay, it's the bodybuilder effect. So what I'm trying to say is that bodybuilders shave their head because they look bigger, because the hair makes the head look bigger, and in proportion, in vision, aesthetics, you look, your body looks smaller when you have like big head or when you have like lots of hair, right? It's something visual, right? That's why Kratos is so huge from God of War. So what I'm gonna do is, what I thought of doing is to look more, you know, more, less buff, okay? Nerfed. I need to have like a big wig, like an exaggerated wig for Bakugo. Yeah, so you saw it, right?
Yeah, you showed me.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna show it again to you guys. Maybe I have a picture here. Yes, I do. Which should be here in the favorites. Look, I don't know if you're gonna see anything from there, but I hope you're gonna like it because I'm Team Bakugo. I love Bakugo so much, especially after the manga.
Yes, for sure.
There you go. You don't see it, but there you go. The Rising Shine. So yes, what's the music? Where's the music? Where's the music? Other questions? Yes.
This is like half a question and I guess half a comment, because you did say that like you're picking characters for the level of the character and then refusing jobs that you're not passionate about. I was gonna comment that I see so much of Rakan's personality in you, and then I was gonna ask if you main Rakan or at least play him a lot.
I used to play Rakan at the beginning, but I saw that the League of Legends community was not my thing.
Yeah.
But as a non-League of Legends player, well, when Riot Games gets to you and says, okay, you want to be the model for Rakan? Yeah, his personality is matching mine, and that's not a random thing. I mean, you all know about Rakan, right? Yeah. Okay. So it was a honor to be, his model. It was a painful experience, by the way. It was so painful, especially when you have to do these official cosplays for video game companies. They keep changing the design every month. So I knew about Rakan like in November, and they released it in April. And they showed me the things they wanted to see. They were keeping changing the bracelets of Rakan and the color of the feathers in the wig, of the hair. So he was supposed to have like light blue, white hair. But they changed it in blonde. And when you do the wig, which is light blue, you cannot change it in blonde. You cannot dye the wig. You have to buy a new Arda wig. Oh yeah. I was sponsored for Arda. And yeah, it's hard. Especially when they call you in Ireland on the Irish mountains with -10 degrees with a half-naked cosplay to shoot from 10 a.m. in the morning to 2 a.m. in the morning. So for a 1-minute video, actually it's 1 minute and a half, but 30 minutes or 30 seconds were graphics, so that doesn't even count. I kept running all day, and some fun facts is that 1 kilometer away from me, they were shooting Game of Thrones, the second season. And so my fanboy wanted to run away from there and like jump in the. You can imagine like Targaryen versus Lannister and have a little Need support? Okay, Jamie, I gotta support you. Magic is in the air. Hey, party time. There you go. Woo! So yeah, it's been wonderful. And it was very cool to work also with Lil Jem. I still laugh about the kiss picture because we were both single, so we didn't have any jealousy problems. But in any case, it shouldn't be a jealousy problem anyway, so don't be jealous. Love each other, guys. Trust each other, don't be jealous. So we're so close. And I was like, and she was like a bit embarrassed, you know? Because I was just there, I was truly believing in that. I was like, and she was like, I mean, I love her. It was very nice, but in the same time, is she sleeping? Okay. It was too cold, okay? Let's say it was too cold. And it was like a very, because we were on this kind of shore, and we had this drone going around us, and we had to stop. And we have to go look each other, and it was, you know, when you're getting so tired, it's so hard to stay serious, you know? So each one of us was starting to laugh, like, and there's the video of us, and I'm just looking at her and laughing, but that was a blooper in the end. So that was not supposed to be like this, because it was almost impossible to do that show. It was impossible. But it was such a great experience, though. I loved it so much that I was like, ah. Yeah, and the thing I don't like is that we have to wait. That's a little backstage thing. Riot Games waited so much to release that video. Like they released it in May, and they released the champions in early April or March, ending March. So I couldn't post pictures without their authorization. And in the meanwhile, I saw that in Japan, some people already cosplayed Zaya and Rakan, and Riot Games officials shared their pictures. And I was like, hey, hey, I'm the official one, hey. So yeah, I was like, okay, thank you. But hey, you have to keep being professional. That's not easy sometimes. Any questions? Yes.
Do you have a dream photo shoot or cosplay?
Yes. One of my dream cosplay and dream photo shoot will be All Might next week, because I'm gonna do another challenging version of All Might next week. It's gonna be 3 days of shooting. So I'm gonna spend 2 days of shooting for 3 pictures. How many of you have read the manga? Okay. Okay. Did you watch the last episode?
Yeah.
Okay, did you like it? Okay. So, I'm trying to remove the spoiler words, okay, from what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna make a version of All Might, which you will see in 4 weeks, more or less. And it's gonna be, trust me, I don't want to exaggerate about that. It's gonna be one of the most intense battles of the history of the animes. For the first time, you're gonna see all the pro heroes all together, and All Might will have to face the reason why he has, his wound. So it's gonna be something very, it's gonna be a very physical battle. So it's gonna be very intense, very tough, but it's gonna be in the same time very psychological battle. So the thing is, that fight will represent a huge motivation of life that can be used to go beyond your own limits. So why I'm saying this? Because that fight is like life. It can go good because you're winning, but there is something happening in your life that makes you lose motivation, and you just let yourself go down. So it's up to you to fight. It's up to you to remember why you're fighting for and what is your flame, okay? So there's All Might at a point, without telling you any spoilers. He just made a speech. He makes a speech about motivation, about life. So he describes this life. Can I tell you this? It's not spoiler. Okay? So he describes life and motivation through the flame, which is the embers of one for all. What he has left in his body now, because he gave the one for all to Midoriya, but he's not the same as before, because he's getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So there will be something very, very intense happening that will make All Might tremble psychologically as a symbol of peace. And he will let himself down. So you can imagine like somebody who's always fighting, like a symbol of peace, like something. You just have to get to a point that he has to keep the motivation high. And he describes this life like a flame that he has to defend with his own body. It doesn't matter what happened to him or what's going to happen. The most important thing is that you keep defending this flame and you keep giving the message to the next one. So that's all about motivation. It's also about legacy if you think about it, like parents, okay? Your parents wants to have a better life, wants to give a better life to their kids, to their sons, than you had. That's the meaning of life, right? So that's all for one. That's one for all. That's how he recreates the one for all concept. And I'm not gonna tell you what he's gonna say. I'm not gonna tell you what is making him say that. You're gonna see that. I'm not gonna say anything else. But there is this picture I want to recreate of All Might in his skinny form, hugging this flame. Okay, and it's like very, very intense. Trust me. And you will see. I'm gonna work on that picture, on those pictures. It's gonna be a photo shooting of 2.5 days, and I'm gonna shoot him in the strong version, skinny version, and young version. So it's gonna be a recreational composition of a picture where each part of the body he has is a different era he has. So like from the skinny to the from the young to the skinny to the strong and to the skinny. So it's like life, okay? Like the circle of life. And one day I want to hopefully get back here next year and talk more about One for All, about the embers of One for All, about that episode, after you saw that episode. Because for me it's very hard to not talk about it in a certain way. Because I love you guys and I don't want to ruin your experience. I just want to give you more hype. And I hope I did. And I want to post those pictures in the same time of the manga, of the anime. So once the episode will be released, I'm gonna wait a few days and I'm gonna post those pictures. So I hope you're gonna enjoy. Yes.
Maybe one last question. It's time.
Oh, okay. We have to leave the room?
Yes.
Do they ask that? Can we have like extra 5 minutes, do you think? 5 minutes.
Please.
Oh? If they're gonna close, they have to close with us. So last questions, last questions. Anything goes. Go for it. Anything, guys. Anything. Don't be shy. Well, it's not easy. It's not easy. Makeup is very heavy, especially for All Might. I have to spend 2.5 hours on All Might every time, to make all the contouring, and it's not easy. It's basically my habit now, so I'm used to that, and my face is makeup proof. So yeah, it's I normally use a spray to fix all the makeup and to keep it on all day on me. And normally when you see these cosplays, they're never the cosplays you see in pictures. For example, this uniform is not the same I have for the pictures, because I keep the deluxe version for the pictures. And this one is on uniform I wear to be able to have more contact with you, and to be more, can you princess carry me? Of course. Sure, I don't have a button now because one just flew away, but I don't care. I can glue it back. But on the other deluxe uniform, I cannot do that because it's a replica, So I always make 2 cosplays, and one is for the, to meet and greet people, and then the other one is for pictures. But makeup is always the same. Last ones. You good?
Will you make it to Fan Expo?
Fun Expo?
Yes, end of August again.
Is during the same days of DragonCon, right?
Yes.
Why? No, I have Sabaton on the same days, unfortunately. But I would love to make it to Fan Expo. I would love to. One day maybe? One day. One day. So once again, guys, we have to leave. I'm really sorry we have to leave, but I'm gonna be to my booth, okay? Yes?
So apparently they've shut down that area, so the people who have the numbers are here in the back of the room for your autographs, and you can use this room to autograph and do stuff with everyone. And that's my
Here, in this room?
It's gonna be this room, yeah.
But they were not closing us?
Huh? No, this room's okay. They've closed the autograph area, so now all your autographs will happen in here. And the people who have the numbers are in the back there, so they've already been informed and they're waiting there.
Okay, cool. Cool, wonderful, wonderful. So can we keep going for 5 minutes and then we start with the autograph? Is that okay? Good. Okay. Yes.
Can I shoot you sometime?
No?
Like,
Okay, let's have the last questions first, okay?
Alright.
Do you have anything you want to ask? Anything? Like anything? Yes. Yes, it was amazing. Thanks to these wonderful people out there. They took care of me very well. And I'm very happy. I feel like people is asking me, aren't you missing your home? Your bed? No, I don't miss it because I feel home here too. So. Exactly. That's it. Absolutely. Yes. My favorite hashtag? Reasons why I'm single. Like my life is basically that hashtag. I should have fallen in depression for my loving life. I should have died for that, you know, like I didn't let myself go down. Like, go beyond, plus ultra. Go to work, I'm depressed, okay, smile, go beyond, plus ultra. She left me, okay, go beyond, plus ultra. So yeah. And every time I find somebody interesting that I'm interested in, it's always a human case, so I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just loving life too much, and I think that we all are made to love somebody, you know? And for my position, it's not easy for that point of view because I travel a lot and it's not an easy life, you know? It's not easy. And it's something that sometimes I miss. But my heart has too much love from the people supporting me, so I'm like, okay. I have tenders, it's okay. By the way, thank you for bringing me all the tenders today. I can sell them and make a bunch of money with that, right? Share a tender with me. Wow. Such a question, thank you. Wow.
You're going to YetiCon. Have you heard that on Sunday there's going to be a tea party and also rideable chocobos? And are you going to be going to that tea party?
Now. I wonder, right? My chocobo. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ride a chocobo. Do you like chocobos? And I like you. She's so beautiful. Yeah. Any questions? Anything? Yes.
Random question. Can I have a cup noodle?
A character. Who will it be and why?
If I can voice a character, I'm actually studying voice acting. Hmm? I would have loved to voice Rakan. You know, to be 100% Rakan, you know? Model, cosplay, voice. But I don't know who hired for Rakan, I have no idea. But I would love to, I don't know, maybe for some upcoming characters, especially for My Hero Academia, there's a new character in the manga. His name is Gentle, and I love him so much.
Oh, Gentle, yes.
Yes, it's gonna be like, we are right now in the anime, we are like in chapter 988, 90, more or less. The manga is in 183 right now. So it's...
It just showed up too, so
Yeah, it's pretty recent. It's pretty recent, but it's very hard to voice act in English because it's very hard to keep the same emphasis as the Japanese voice, because the Japanese voice acting, just a little thing about voice acting, please never make comparisons between Japanese dub and English dub, because that's a complete different thing. There's not a question of Japanese being better than English, but it's a different way of acting because the sounds sound different, the language sounds different, and you cannot emulate the same sound from Japanese to English. For example, the mura mura, you cannot simulate that. It's not useless, useless. It's hard to do that. You can imagine, like, you cannot yell useless, useless, useless. It doesn't sound good. But a mura mura is like different, okay? So think about that, because I saw a lot of discussions on the internet by saying, I prefer it in Japanese, but please support also the the English dub, because that's a lot of work. And what I'm trying to say is that it's a different way, okay? It's giving a different sound. And it cannot be, like, for example, when I hear Spanish subtitles, for me, like, Spanish dub is so different from English. So some sounds, some English sounds cannot be Spanish, and vice versa. Remember that, it's very different, like different jobs. But I love Japanese dub and My Hero Academia, like, it's, yeah. Did you know that the voice actor of Glad is the same of All Might?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's insane. That's insane. We feel. I need to meet him one day. Last questions. Yes. Yes. I would love to. I would love to. But it really depends if I get invited, if I'm free during that weekend, because as I said, I work on invitation. So I normally receive from 2 to 3 conventions per week, and I have to choose. So sometimes it depends the conditions, it depends the timing, because if they get to me like 3 weeks before or 2 months before, I cannot accept because I'm already booked. So most of the times if I have to go to a con is because they have to contact me way time before. And yeah, and I always give priorities to the conventions I've been to and having a good experience, like this one for example. I will have to go back next year. But mainly because I love Canada and because I love the Canadian community, because it's very artistic. It's very special, it is very different, and I would love to spend more time here. Well, that's why I'm having all these conventions. And they will announce me soon in Montreal Comic Con. Yes. Okay, so autograph time? Okay, so we keep this table and we keep signing here, is that okay?